key locations of brain structures. You'll understand their functions, and you'll have an understanding of different contributions made to our understanding of the brain.
Welcome. This is your host, Dr. Tulipa Fumbo, and today we have started the course entitled Introduction to Psychology, and today we are specifically looking at biopsychology, which is and the subject is structure and function of the brain. This is your host, Dr. Tripomen Fumbo. You can contact me on plus 260 7618 1253 plus 260 9761 81256 253. This program is sponsored by Mukuba College of Education in conjunction with Copperbelt Institute of Health and Social Sciences and in association with Gideon Roberts University. We have different programs that we are offering, and online we are offering a certificate in psychosocial counseling, certificate in paralegal counseling, diploma in psychology and counseling, diploma in teaching methodology, and bachelor's of psychology. So we have the scholarship in all these programs. You can apply and get a scholarship on the you can just contact me on 0976 1812 53 0976 1812 53.
You'll be able to identify different key locations of brain structures. You'll understand their functions, and you'll have an understanding of different contributions made to our understanding of the brain.
Let's get moving. Biological psychology, also known as biopsychology or behavioral neuroscience, is the study of the biological basis of behavioral and also mental processes. It focuses on neuroanatomy, which study of it is the study of the structure and organization of the nervous system. It also looks at neurophysiology, which studies the functions and the processes of the nervous system. So, and also it will look at it looks at neurochemistry, which study the study of the chemical processes and neurotransmitters involved in behavior and mental processes. And also it looks at neuropsychology, which is the study of the relationship between the brain and behavior, including the effects of brain damage or disorder. So the study of biopsychology has got four components. As we have said, neuroanatomy, we look at the structure and organization of nervous system, and also we have the neurophysiology, where we look at the functions and the processes of the nervous system, and we look also at neurochemistry, where we look at the chemical processes and neurotransmitters involved in behavior and mental processes. And lastly, we will look at the neurophysiology, which looks at the relationship between the brain and behavior, including the effects of brain damage or disorders. Now, let's look at the brain. The brain is a complex and dynamic system, and there is still much to be discovered about its intricacies. Specific areas of the brain involved in different functions, such as the cerebral cortex, basal ganglia, ganglion, and also limbic system. So now when we look at the brain, it is something that is exhaustive, inexhaustive. We cannot finish studying the brain because the brain itself is so complex. They say that a normal human being has only used the brain less than 10%, and those that we consider to be the most intelligent people, or the people that are genius and the people that uses much of their brain, they have not used to up to more than 15% of the brain. So the brain is so complex such that it is very difficult to understand it, and it is very difficult to know how it functions. So the brain functions. The brain control and coordinate what is called the motor control, which regulates voluntary movements such as walking, talking, and writing. So it also coordinates and balance, which manages the posture balance and the coordination through the cerebrum. So for you to be able to write, walk, and talk, it is the work of the brain which is controlling your movements, and also it coordinates the balancing for you to be able to stand upright and to be able to not to fall. It is because of the brain. Then the other function of the brain is the sensory processing, which controls what is called the visual, and the visual, it interprets visual information from the eyes in the uh, Epstein lobby. And also we have got the hearing, which processes auditory information from the ears in the temporal lobby. Then we have got the sense of touch, uh, uh, which is this touch and sensation, which interprets sensory information from the skin and muscles in the parietal lobe. And also we have got the taste and smell, which processes sensory information from tongue and nose in the temporal and frontal lobes. Then we have got the cognitive, which which gives attention, focuses on specific stimuli and tasks. Then we have got also the in cognitive, we look also at perception, which interprets, organizes sensory information. The brain has got also the memory, which in cognitive we have got the memory which stores and retrieves information. And it is in the same cognitive where we look at language processing and understand spoken and written language. Then it has got also the function of problem solving, which enables critical thinking and decision making. So the emotional and social functions of the brain. The brain regulates emotions. It manages emotional responses such as fear, anger, and happiness. It also works to motivation. The brain drives behavior and goal directions actions. It also has got the social behavioral, which facilitates interaction, communication, and relationships with others. It also coordinates what is called the empathy and compassion. It enables understanding and sharing of emotions with others. The regulatory function of the brain. In the regulatory function of the brain, we have got the brain where it regulates the body temperature, and also which to maintain a stable body temperature. It also the one that controls the hunger and thirsty regulation, which controls appetite and then we have got the sleep and wake and work wakefulness. So this the brain controls for you the time for you to sleep and the time to wake up. So it regulates sleep wake up cycles, and also it has got the hormonal regulations. So the brain controls the release of hormones that regulate various body functions. Other functions of the if you want to learn more functions of the brain, uh, the brain also uses what is called the learning and adaptation, which enables the brain to recognize and adapt in response to new experiences. It also controls what is called consequential consciousness and awareness. This facilitates awareness of one's surroundings, thoughts, and emotions. Then it controls also what is called intuitional and creativity. It enables generation of new ideas and insights. The the parts of the brain. So the brain has got different parts, and these parts are the cerebrum. It has got the brainstem, and it has got the cerebellum. Now, what is the cerebellum? The cerebellum is the largest part of the brain, responsible for processing sensory information, controlling movement, and managing high-level cognitive functions such as thought, emotion, and memory. So, as you can see on the picture, the cerebrum is the one that controls and processes information, and you can see it is the one that is in charge of memory, cognition, language, thought, judgment, functioning, and many other things that are like motor attraction and all those things. um, if you want to know more about the cerebrum, you can go to our textbook, which is the Foundation of Psychology, Volume 1. You have to read on the structure of the cerebrum, functions of the cerebrum, parts of the cerebrum, their functions, damages to the cerebrum, and disorders. So you need to study and also to read on these things, because on the exam they are going to come. Then the cerebellum. The cerebellum has got also the functions that it. So the function of the cerebellum is located at the base of the brain. The cerebellum coordinates muscles, movements, balance, and postures. So postures, coordination, and balance are coordinated by the cerebellum. So if you want to know more functions about the cerebrum, I refer you to the textbook Foundation of Psychology. If you have not yet gotten it, you need to order this book. It is where all the information in this lecture I'm just going to give you, and I'm just giving you highlights and brief. We cannot exhaust, so you need to take time to look at those. You need to read and study on this book. So it is going to give you the structure where we're going to, it looks at the structure of the cerebrum, functions of the cerebrum, parts of the cerebrum and their functions, damages to the cerebrum, disorders affecting the cerebrum. So you need to look at this. The other thing about it's a brainstem. So there are three parts of the brain. There is cerebrum, and also there is brainstem. So the brainstem connects is responsible connecting the cerebrum to the spinal cord. The brainstem regulates basic functions such as breathing, heat rate, and blood pressure. You can also go back to the book and dig more about the brainstem and look at the structure of the brainstem, function of the brainstem, parts of the brainstem and their function, damages to the brainstem, disorders affecting the brainstem. The lobes of the cerebrum. There is what is called the frontal lobe, responsible for executive functions, decision making, motor control, and language processing. So the frontal lobe is responsible, or it works like an executive functions like decision making, motor control, and language. processing. And we have got then the in the lobes of the cerebrum, we have got parietal lobe, which processes sensory information related to such as temperature and then we have got the temporal lobe. The temporal lobe plays a key role in processing auditory information like memory and language comprehension. Then we have the obs- occipital lobe, occipital lobe, which is primarily responsible for processing visual information. Um, Other key structures are hippocampus, which is essential for forming and consolidating new memories. And then we have got amygdala, which processes emotions such as fear and anxiety. Hypothalamus, which regulates body temperature, hunger, thirst, and other basic bodily functions. Then we have got thalamus, which acts as a relay station for sensory information, helping to filter and prioritize incoming. So the thalamus is it's like it's a highway where which controls like I can say the robots or the traffic robots or the roundabout where it is able to control the system so that it looks at the priority and also the urgency of the information. Um, This is just a brief overview of the brain structure. If you have specific questions or would like more information, feel free to ask. And also, I refer you to, for detailed notes, please refer to the textbook Foundation of Psychology. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening and also attending this lecture. For detailed notes, get yourself a copy of the textbook. This is your host, Dr. Tulipo Mwenfumbo, and God bless you.